Oh, we are fired up. Hello and welcome to the 2024 Bbwaa Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year Award Show inside Studio 21. We're live. It's Greg Amsinger, Tom Verducci, Sean Casey. This is a big night, kickstarting Awards Week on MLB Network. And we talk about these youngsters. Tom, you voted on this award before, not this year, but when you do decipher who's worthy, is it the most outstanding resume for a rookie? Or is it the most valuable rookie to your team's playoff chances?
Greg, don't overthink it. For me, it's the best player. Take standings out of context, team out of context. Who had the best year? And in case tonight we're talking about players you measure not just against their peers, but against all-time great rookies. That's the kind of seasons we're talking about.
You're exactly right. It's all-time great rookies. I think sometimes when you look at this, when you have pitchers and position players, I know for a position player, especially when you're a rookie, you have to learn how to play in this league, and you play so many games as an everyday player. So, what is the value? What is that? What does that make you outstanding with all that? So it's going to be great, man. Some great players in this class.
Yeah, and why is it called the Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year Award? Because he's the most iconic rookie in the history of baseball. The first African-American player in 1947 was really good, almost hit 300, led his league in stolen bases with 29. So good as the Rookie of the Year in 1947. He finished 5th in MVP. Number 42, Jackie Robinson, the name, of course, after him. So let's get into your nominees for the National League Rookie of the Year. Your finalists are, in alphabetical order, Jackson Chourio, the Milwaukee Brewers. He finished second among NL rookies in runs and RBIs, tied for second in home runs, third in hits. Youngest player to record a 2020 season. With 20 years old, 185 days old. Incredible. Be the fourth youngest Rookie of the Year winner ever, behind Doc Gooden, Bryce Harper, and Willie Mays. How about Jackson Merrill? Led NL rookies in F4, homers, RBIs, hits, extra base hits, and games played. 6 game-tying or go-ahead home runs in the 8th inning or later. The definition of clutch was number 3, Jackson Merrill. And the big ace of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Paul Skeens, 1.96 ERA. That's the lowest ERA by a rookie pitcher since ERA became an official stat. That's back in 1912 in the NL, 1913 in the AL. Second lowest ERA by a Pirates pitcher in the expansion era. Led MLB pitchers with 100 pitches at 100 miles an hour or more. Next closest was Jose Soriano with 40. And we got all the guys here with us. We got Paul Skeens, we got Jackson Merrill, and Jackson Chourio alongside Cesar Suarez, his interpreter. So, guys, welcome. What a big night for all of you. Jackson Merrill, I'm going to start with you if you don't mind. Breaking camp with the San Diego Padres, when you found out that you were going to go from spring training to the big leagues, how much momentum did that give you as a rookie, and how did it impact your rookie campaign?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's excited when they hear the call that they're going to the big leagues. I don't really think it matters if it's out of camp or if it's in the middle of the year or whenever you go up there. I just think going up there, that's enough adrenaline and enough confidence for everybody.
Well, I'm going to go to Paul Skeens because, Paul, you had a lot of amazing numbers this year. I want to talk about 0.75. That was your ERA in September. You got to explain to me how you, in your first full season here in the big leagues, pitched your best baseball at the end of the season.
Yeah, I don't know. I was definitely lucky to, have the opportunity to be pitching in September and, built some momentum and had some fun at the end of the year.
Jackson Chourio, I'm going to go with you. You had such an incredible run there probably in the last 4 months. And with Christian Yelich going down, what was your mindset stepping up in that second half to really lead the Brewers to the postseason?
Él dice que en la parte que tú empezaste a batear en los últimos 4 meses, ¿qué es lo que tú estabas pensando para empezar a batear y para empezar a jugar así, sabiendo que Christian Yelich se había lesionado? ¿Qué fue lo que cambió en ti, en la mentalidad?
No, la verdad que solamente pensaba en divertirme, seguir jugando, ya que amo jugar y nada, gracias a Dios salieron todas las cosas.
He just started thinking a little bit more on having fun. He was a little bit pressure in the beginning, but then when he saw that the Yelich went down, like he started having fun with the team, and he feels that the chemistry in the team was so good that he helped him to get to the momentum of finishing strong like he did.
So good. Paul, I got a question for you as far as zooming out a little bit and becoming a scout and looking at Paul Skeens. And with all the stuff you did, it was a historic year for a rookie, a historic year as a pitcher. What are you doing this offseason for you to grow as a pitcher, to maybe go to another level if you could?
Yeah, I think the cool part about what I was able to experience this year is just being able to, have a full season. So I think now we have a better, idea of how to train in the off season and have some ideas on, pitch shapes and stuff like that that's going to help us out next year.
Hey, Jackson Merrill, I know you had an amazing season, especially late in games. 6 home runs that tied the game or put you ahead, 8th inning or later. Just amazing. I want to go back to my favorite, and that was against Mason Miller, the closer for the Oakland A's. He throws you a first pitch slider. I mean, nobody's looking there, first pitch slider, especially it was a nasty pitch. Tell me about the approach in that at-bat and why you were so successful in those clutch situations.
I just think I never changed my mind when I went up to the plate. I just always wanted to be aggressive. It didn't really matter who was pitching, and I know people are going to attack me. I'm at the bottom of the order at that point in time, so yeah, just go up there aggressive, look for a pitch to hit.
Yeah, it worked for you. Jackson Churio, everyone makes mention of your age. We did it already, I think, 3 times in this show. You were 20 years old, so young. But to be managed by a guy who had a career coaching 18 to 22-year-olds in college, and Pat Murphy, before he got to the big leagues, he kind of had a way of building you up. The impact of your manager, Pat Murphy, on your rookie season was what?
Ellos dicen que ya todo el mundo ha hablado de tu edad, ya ellos lo dijeron 3 veces. Él está diciendo que tener un manager que ya venía acostumbrado a trabajar con jugadores de entre 18 y 22 años, ¿qué tipo de impacto tú piensas que tuvo Pat Murphy en lo que pasó en la temporada de este año?
No, sí, la verdad que yo creo que tuvo mucho, ya que él habló mucho conmigo y me decía como que me tranquilizara, que esto iba a ser un proceso, ¿sabes? Y nada, súper agradecido con él también.
Yeah, he feels that the trust, that he always trusts in him. He always told him, you have to understand that this is a process for you. You're in the big leagues. Everything is going to get better. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep working hard. And he feels that was one of the most important things that happened to him, for him to finish the way he did.
And you finished on a high note. A great rookie season for all 3 of you. Jackson Churio, Jackson Merrill, Paul Skeens, thank you so much for joining us. Stick around. One of you will be named the National League Rookie of the Year. That's coming up. But after the break, let's break these guys down. I love watching all 3 finalists watch the breakdown tapes. No pressure, Tom and Sean. That's next. Don't go anywhere.
Look at these young guys right here, all having terrific rookie seasons.
He is absolutely dominant.
I don't think we've ever seen someone like Paul Skeens. It's a story.
Jackson Churio with 2020 at the age of 20. It's incredible. High drive, deep right field. Merrill, madness.
He's a stud, man.
He's a stud.
He's the #1 clutch slugger in baseball.
This is your rookie of the year.
Any normal season, all 3 of these guys are runaway rookies of the year. Incredible performances by all 3. Churio, 2020 at the age of 20, like you heard. Jackson Merrill, position change with a shortstop. And then his first spring training with the big club, they're like, hey, can you play center field? Sure. And he did it at a high level. And Paul Skeens, a sub-2 ERA. It's the best rookie pitching performance we've seen since Doc Gooden in 1984. Back in Studio 21, it's Greg with Tom and Sean. Let's walk through each one of these guys and really why they were so special. Jackson Churio got the big contract. That usually puts pressure on a young player, Sean. If he had it, you didn't see it.
Not for this guy. It seemed like it made him better. You think the Brewers knew something that maybe we didn't know? Long-term deal before this guy even debuted. He became special. I mean, this guy's going to be a flat-out superstar, and he proved it already this season. And when you saw at the beginning, got off to a little slow start, but man, when he started to lean in, it was impressive. This is the one thing that I love about this kid. 20 years old and the power to all fields. I mean, this guy can flat-out drive the ball to left field. He could drive the ball to center field. Crush this one to right center. He also hit one off the scoreboard later on, and you could see the reaction from his teammates. That's when you know it's big time. But when I saw him doing this,
no doubt,
I said, this guy's different. This guy's going to be a star in this league. He could go to right center, and now it becomes a big problem. And you see, I know we weren't talking about playoffs for this award, but I tell you what, when you saw him in the postseason against the Mets hit these 2 huge home runs late, I was like, this kid, the moment is not big for Jackson Churio. And listen, at the end of the day, you talk about Pat Murphy. I mean, the versatility of him in the outfield. He can play left, he can play center field, he can play right. I mean, you can mix and match him either way, but this guy can flat out go get it. And you talked about the speed. The youngest 2020 player in Major League Baseball history. This guy's 20 years old, went deep 20 times, stole 20 bases. It's just so impressive. I mean, the future is bright for the Milwaukee Brewers, and this guy's the reason why. I really believe, Greg, this guy is a flat-out superstar. And you want to talk about the youngest players to finish in the top 3? Look at these names. You've got Junior, Dwight Gooden, Juan Soto, Harper, and Jackson Chourio. You don't think this guy's going to be up for MVP pretty soon here? Because all those other guys have.
We heard the comparisons to Ronald Acuna Jr., and those are lofty comparisons, but you can see that he's got so many aspects of his game. Chourio to Acuna, he's that talented. But when it comes to hype, there was no one more hyped than the #1 pick, and that was Paul Skeens. He exceeded expectations.
He did, and I think, you know, the velocity catches everybody's attention. But to me, Paul Skeens is about power and precision. The way that he pitches. The name of the game in pitching these days is limiting damage, the slug. The splinker that he throws limits the damage better than any sinker. Like, that's a UFO pitch. People are saying, what the heck is a splinker? It's actually a sinker that acts like a splitter. Let me show you how it works so well in limiting damage. Paul Skeens is 6'6". You watch him throw a baseball with these mechanics, it's not just power, it's the angles that he creates. To a right-handed hitter, this is actually reminiscent of Max Scherzer. 6'6" with a 5.5-foot release point and offset. Look where that ball is coming from to a right-handed hitter. Now watch the movement on this splinker. Wow. I got to show you that again, because a normal sinker is the top ball. His sinker has 30 inches of drop, 7-inch difference from an average sinker. So that ball is not where a hitter expects it to be. But you can't just talk about the splinker on its own. Yeah, it's got incredible numbers, especially with 2 strikes. 3 hits all year with 2 strikes on that pitch. But I think of the combo platter that Paul Skeens has, because you do have to honor that 100-mile-an-hour velocity. Here's a case of back-to-back pitches. The 100-mile-an-hour four-seamer followed up by that splinker. Wow, if you're a hitter like Espinal right here, it's over. You almost covered that pitch. You can tell, though, he has to cheat to get to 100. So what do? You come back, take a little bit off with more movement. Here's what a hitter sees. Four-seamer. Now that pitch looks exactly the same until it dive bombs to the right. Same thing here. Now it's Willie Adames seeing the four-seamer with 2 strikes. Next pitch, watch it disappear. 5-6 mile-an-hour difference, but the movement now is going to get him out front. You want to cheat to my 100? Here, try to hit this. Good luck. Watch the path of these pitches. You talk about tunneling, it doesn't get much better than this. And again, we have to talk about precision. Now against the left-handed hitter, that's right on the black, four-seam fastball. You know what's coming next, people. There it is, the splinker right behind it. Now, if you're Riley Green, how do you cover both of these pitches? Because they look exactly the same coming into the plate until once again the ball is gone. It disappears underneath the barrel. Precision, all these pitches on the hairlines of the strike zone. He's not fooling people in the middle of the plate. He can do that when he wants to. But to me, Greg, the way that he uses his pitches with precision. Now, that sinker, this is the catcher's point of view, by the way, almost always going to be an arm side. We saw it on Riley Green. He can go the other way. But look at the location of these pitches. He's not missing in the middle of the zone. Time after time, he's dotting this pitch up. It's a UFO pitch. It's one of the best pitches in the game already. Rookie in the National League. Wow.
I have a feeling the Pirates wish they could go back in time and break camp with Paul Skeens. I'm just thinking they wish that would have happened. So many reasons why. The Padres decided to do that with Jackson Merrill. And if you're going to look at which rookie impacted the postseason race, maybe the most, where would the Padres have been without Jackson Merrill?
No. Where would they be? Seriously, when you watch the Padres down the stretch, I mean, all the game-tying, game-winning home runs that he hit down the stretch, I mean, he was basically their MVP those last couple months when you look at Jackson Merrill. Listen, I tell you what, this kid is special. And I think when you look at him driving in 90 runs for the Padres, such a gap-to-gap guy, man. He can hit pretty much everything. He stays back so good on the changeup. He can hit the slider, the curveball. That four-seamer doesn't do, but there's a nice rocket to left center. And I always think if you're going to play in the big leagues at a high level, you've got to be able to shoot that left center gap. And Jackson Merrill does it just as good as anyone in the game. But you saw right here in the second half really started to get on top of that first pitch heater. And you see the one right there in Florida, and then this is a huge one against the Pirates late. And Tom, you talked about this one. Mason Miller's slider that backs up that, I mean, how are you hitting that? And he talked about just trying to be aggressive on that first pitch. In 2023, guys, this guy's played shortstop his whole life. He's not even a center fielder. You know, it's incredible. And he played a great shortstop. You see right here, you can see the hands that he had up the middle. But they said, you know what? If you want to break camp with us this year, we need you in center. And what did he do? He took the shortstop skills to center field, and he was an above-average center fielder, making plays all over the place, right center, left center, coming in for the baseball. And just turns out, man, when I look back at the Padres, I have to think he might have been the MVP of that club and talking about getting to the postseason for what he did. So just so special when you go back and look at the rookie ranks. You want to talk about dominating,
I mean, incredible.
As a position player. In games played, 156 hits, home runs, RBIs, F-WAR. I mean, this guy had an incredible season for the Padres.
I'm not kidding. All three of these guys, any normal season,
oh yeah,
they're a runaway rookie of the year. That's how special all three are. It's going to be fun to find out. We are moments away. I know the guys are listening. Hey, thumbs up if you like the breakdown. Oh, too bad. Hey, when we come back, we'll have a special announcer. A Hall of Famer will join us to make the big announcement. Who's winning NL Rookie of the Year? That's next. We are moments away from finding out who will take home the 2024 National League Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year Award. Jackson Chourio, Jackson Merrill, Paul Skeens are all standing by live. Now, to help us with the announcement, Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time. I want to take you back to 1982. Cal Ripken Jr. hit 28 bombs, drove in 93 on a good Oriole team. They won 94 games, finished second in their division that season. They were playing to try to get the playoffs. He played 70 games that year at third base. We know how his career kind of ended, right? Cal kind of to join us here live on MLB Network. Cal, good to see you, man. You know, it's crazy. You were 21 years old in 1982, and you were on a win-now, veteran-laden team. I think the closest in age to you among the regulars was Eddie Murray at 26. So how intimidating was that for you in that clubhouse in Baltimore in 1982?
Well, obviously, it was pretty hard in the first part of the season. I started off 3 for 5 opening day and thought I had arrived. And then I was 4 for my next 63, 7 for 68. But Earl kept putting me out there. I got a lot of assurances from Eddie Murray, especially because he came up in similar circumstances, and I found it. And I started swinging and ended up with a really great year and the Rookie of the Year honors. So it was wonderful after those first 68 at bats.
Well, you understand how great you have to be to win an honor just like this. So we are honored that you're with us throughout the course of this broadcast to announce both awards. Without further ado, give us the National League Award, okay, Cal?
Yeah, I always love seeing the young guys come in and establish themselves in the league. So it's an honor for me to do this today. And the winner of the 2024 National League Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year winner is Paul Skeens. Congratulations, Paul.
Skeens is your winner of the National League Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year Award. Take a look, a very close voting. 7 first-place votes for Jackson Merrill. He had 23 second-place votes, 136 to 104 total points. Paul Skeens is your winner. His girlfriend, Libby Dunn, is sitting alongside, celebrating with him right now. Congratulations, Paul, from all of us. What does this honor mean to you right now?
This is cool, and I think the coolest part is that it puts a bow on this past year, and you know, we can kind of look forward to next year.
Congratulations, Paul. So well deserved. By the way, how did I do on that breakdown on your splinter?
I love it. I love it.
Speaking of love, I mean, listen, you could rake. We all know that. You were catching. You're a position player, full-time pitcher, obviously. Tell me what you love most about being a big league pitcher, the craft of pitching.
I think the coolest part is seeing lineups multiple times and figuring out how to get them out different ways. So I faced the Cubs 4 times this year. I faced the Reds 3 times, and I thought it was a huge deal, in college 2 years ago now when I faced Arkansas twice in 1 year. So I'm growing up quick on that end.
Hey, Paul, I'm from Pittsburgh, man. I live there now. I saw at the Steeler game, man, the crowd went absolutely nuts when you were waving that terrible towel. Can you just talk about what the fans have meant to you out there in Pittsburgh so far?
It's been awesome, and I think the coolest part about going to that Steelers game, a win was great, but just seeing the fans and seeing, what sports mean to this city. Obviously, we saw it a little bit over the summer, but gives us hope, I think, to what we can do next year and have the city unite around us, as the Pirates next year.
You talked about how this is kind of like the bow at the end of a great first year. How would you describe everything you've been through? First overall pick, you start the All-Star game, and now you're Rookie of the Year, you're a finalist for Cy Young. How do you put this into words, Paul?
It's cool, and I think the biggest thing is just stay present through it all. That's helped me this year. I've surrounded myself with good people, I think, and I've been super lucky to experience all the things that I have. So, just going to try to continue to stay present, enjoy the ride.
Is there a Rookie of the Year party that we're about to enjoy?
I got some folks here, down in Baton Rouge with got a lot of the LSU baseball guys, so we're enjoying it.
All right, Paul Skeens, congratulations. You are so fun to watch. You're 2024 Jackie Robinson National League Rookie of the Year. You deserve it, Paul. Take a look at what he just did. A first overall draft pick in baseball history to win Rookie of the Year. First to do it since Carlos Correa in 2015. Bryce did it in 2012. The Straw Man, 83, and Bob Horner back in 1978. A moment in time. We are at the cusp of what could be a historic career for Paul Skeens, reacting to one of many incredible moments in this guy's life. He is your National League Rookie of the Year, but that's not the last award we have to hand out. When we come back, your American League finalists as we get closer to making that announcement right here on MLB Network. Award week here on MLB Network. The Manager of the Year is Tuesday, Cy Young on Wednesday, and the big one, the MVP, Thursday night. All shows start at 6 p.m. Eastern live on MLB Network. Here now your finalists for AL Rookie of the Year in alphabetical order. We start with Colton Cowser of the Baltimore Orioles, led AL rookies in homers with 24 runs scored. F4, second in walks, third in RBI. Second highest outs above average among left fielders in all of baseball this season. He would be the fifth Oriole to win Rookie of the Year in the last 50 seasons. Colton Cowser, one of your three finalists for American League Rookie of the Year. Luis Gil of the New York Yankees led AL rookies in opponents' average, opponents' OPS, also led in wins, tied for the most strikeouts with Spencer Arrighetti, second most strikeouts in a season by a Yankees rookie. Only Russ Ford back in 1910 had more than Luis Gil. And his teammate is one of the three finalists for AL Rookie of the Year. Catcher Austin Wells, second most RBIs in a season by a Yankees catcher. He had 55. Only Hall of Famer Bill Dickey, who had 65, had more. Third most catcher framing runs in all of 2024. So he can do both. He can receive the baseball, he can handle the running game, and he hit cleanup an awful lot for the New York Yankees. All three guys kind of to join us here on MLB Network. Austin Wells, we got Luis Gil, and of course Colton Cowser. Also Marlon Abreu will be the translator for Luis Gil during this interview. Austin, I want to start with you. How do you balance both, right? Working with a rotation as a rookie catcher and hitting cleanup at times behind Juan Soto and Aaron Judge. That seems like a lot on your plate, no?
Man, the teammates make it a lot easier on me. We have such a great pitching staff this year, and they welcomed me in this year and had great communication with me, which allowed me to do my job a lot better, and getting to hit behind some of the best hitters in the entire planet, that also helps have a little confidence going to the plate.
Hey, Luis, congratulations on an outstanding season. I want to go back, though, to spring training. When you were not in the Yankees rotation until Garrett Cole got hurt, tell me what your expectations were when you went to camp with the Yankees.
Gil, tú sabes que cuando tú, primero que todo, tremenda temporada, pero cuando tú empezaste el entrenamiento de primavera, en ese momento no estaba en la rotación, pasa la lesión con Cole, pero ¿qué era lo que tú esperabas, verdad? Cuando tú llegaste a ese campamento, ¿cuál era tu mentalidad en ese momento?
Bueno, en ese momento, tú sabes, lo único que yo quería era jugar béisbol porque tenía 2 años fuera de béisbol, ¿tú me entiendes? Ya estaba ansioso por jugar béisbol y gracias a Dios pasaron las cosas, tomé buen camino y pude hacer un buen trabajo para ayudar al equipo.
I mean, you know, when I showed up to camp at that time, you know, the first thing in my mind, I was hungry to play baseball. You know, I've missed 2 years, almost 2 full years, and I was really anxious, to get back on the field, to be able to do what I love. And, you know, things worked out very well for me. I put myself in a good situation there coming into camp, and very happy the way things turned out.
Colton, you know, as a hitter in the big leagues, I always looked at failure's feedback. And last year you got a chance to come up for 26 games, struggled a little bit. And this year you really turned around. What feedback did you get that you were able to make the adjustments you made in 2024?
Yeah, I think the big thing for me was, you know, being told like it's never a bad thing to, you know, struggle in the big leagues your first time around, and understanding that and going into last offseason, you know, the hitting coaches, hitting staff gave me a couple of things to work on, and just to make myself a little bit more consistent with, you know, lower body and mindset and approach. And I think that those things, you know, catapulted me into this year.
Wellsy, man, you know, being with you last year with the Yankees, when you first came up, man, this guy's got some thunder in his bat. I knew you could hit. And I think the big question was defensively, how well were you going to be? Well, it turns out this year, man, you're one of the best catchers in the game. Can you talk a little bit about Tanner Swanson and Jose Trevino and the influence they've had on you with becoming one of the better catchers in the game of baseball?
Yeah, I mean, here at the Yankees, we've had a great track record of developing guys. So having Tanner here with me, that's helped me bring my game to a whole nother level. And then you add in Trevi, the Platinum Glove winner. You know, he's the man, and I couldn't be where I am right now with him in my career and my defense for sure.
Hey, Colton, I love watching you play because I can tell you play the game with a lot of joy. We can see you're having fun out there. The fans tapped into that this year with the cow costumes, the milk cartons, all that stuff. Give me a window into your approach. Major League Baseball is tough, but define how you like to approach the game.
Yeah, you know, I like to try and play with a smile on my face. You know, it's such a long year that, you know, you can kind of dig yourself into a hole, you know, especially if, you know, you're kind of in a little bit of rut. So just trying to be the same guy every day and, you know, really just trying to enjoy it. You know, it's a short period in your life. And, you know, I bet Wells can contest to this. I don't think I ever shut up whenever he's back there catching. I'm usually just talking to him the entire time, cracking jokes. So.
Well, hey, it made for a great interview. We appreciate all 3 of you guys joining us. Don't go anywhere. One of you will be named the American League Rookie of the Year. That is coming up momentarily. But in the meantime, you get to watch Tom Verducci and Sean Casey break down your rookie campaign. Luis Hill, Colton Cowser, Austin Wells. Who's going to take home the hardware? We're breaking them down next.
That is tanked. Wells, the man of the night.
He grabbed that starting catcher job. He's in the Rookie of the Year conversation.
He stays red hot. Luis Hill. The numbers are off the charts. 14 strikeouts for the young right-hander.
What a revelation this kid has been.
Cowser does it again. Bombs away. I think he's making a little Rookie of the Year statement.
A great year for rookies in the AL East. All 3 finalists for the American League Rookie of the Year honor from that division: Colton Cowser, Luis Hill, and Austin Wells, a pair of New York Yankees. Back inside Studio 21. It's been a fun show so far. Paul Skeens is your National League Rookie of the Year award winner. It's Greg with Tom and Sean. Let's dive into these 3. Luis Hill, I'm glad you asked him about Garrett Cole being down, and they needed someone to be the guy in that rotation. The immense value he brought to pitch like a Garrett Cole while their ace was on the IL.
He stepped up big time. 17 starts, allowing 1 run or fewer? That's consistency. My measurement for a pitcher is, what do you do when you're in trouble? Runners in scoring position, how good are you? Well, look at Luis Hill, and not compare him just to other rookies. The best in Major League Baseball, 157 batting average.
Incredible.
So then I say, well, how does he do it? What pitches does he lean on when he's in trouble? First thing I do is I look at that 4-seam fastball. Look at the percentages. It really doesn't change. Runners on base, runners empty, about the same there. That is so hard to hit, especially when he gets it above a hitter's hands. It has tremendous spin, of course, tremendous velo. All right, what about that slider? This is a wipeout frisbee slider that's a swing and miss pitch that gets hitters to chase out of the zone. The percentage actually goes down when he's in trouble. All right, there's one more pitch left. And you know what that is? And this is what's most impressive to me. It's the changeup. He leans on the changeup more when he's in trouble. That is so outstanding for a young pitcher. Even right on right, he has no problem throwing that pitch. You see that movement there. There's a power changeup, low 90s. This is a guy who's got a gift in terms of being able to throw a high spin four-seamer and then to deaden the ball and take spin off the ball. Very few pitchers have the ability to do both. In fact, only 3. Trevor Rogers, and the guy I think is a real good comp to him, Freddie Peralta. Guys who can throw that high spin four-seamer top of the zone and then deaden the ball with a changeup. He's got a gift, special arm.
And he gets to share a moment like this with a teammate in Austin Wells. And when you were the hitting coach of the New York Yankees, you came back, talked about a lot of different personalities that you really grew to love. This kid was at the top of the list. Why'd you like him so much?
Just a natural-born leader. One of those guys, man, such a great personality. All the guys in the clubhouse love him, the coaching staff, everybody. But the guy's a grinder, too. He's a gamer. He's a guy that you want up at the dish. You want him controlling that staff, too. And listen, when they got in trouble and Stanton got hurt, they said, who's going to hit behind Soto and Judge? And when Booney finally put Austin Wells there, man, did he absolutely take off and drive in some huge runs for the Yankees right when they needed him. But it was such a huge thing. I think one thing with Wellesley, man, he could do this too. That ball middle away, there's a rocket line drive to left field, scores Soto and Judge. You just saw that a lot. But, man, this thing right here, his bat speed and the thunder he has in that bat is real. When you see where he hit that ball, this guy has some light tower power, and it's really impressive. He's only going to get better as he matures. But I think this is the one thing we talked about before. Defensively, we didn't know. I'll tell you what, we know now. This guy was one of the best guys this year in the third most in catcher framing runs with 12. This guy is Austin's so good at bringing that ball right there and making it look like a strike. So good there. And don't sleep on this right here. This guy could throw you out in a heartbeat, and he proved it again this year. The great footwork, great arm, gets it out really quick, and bam. So for me, when I looked at Wellesley this year, it kind of felt like a proud papa, really, with the way he swung the bat, taking over the leadership role and what he did. But look at this right here, guys. In the cleanup spot, like I said, when the Yankees needed him most, in 39 games, hitting 250, hitting 6 home runs, drove in 33 runs in, I believe, 39 games. It was so impressive, and right when they needed him to go into that 4-hole. But like I said, when you watch him offensively and you watch him defensively, the future's bright. And the backstop for the Yankees for years to come. He
had some valuable streaks of offensive production for the New York Yankees. Kind of remind me of what Jackson Churio did. Got off to a cold start, had a very productive streak. Obviously, Paul Skeens would compare to Luis Gil in this class as the surprising ace, right, as a youngster. And then the Jackson Merrill defensive versatility and playing a ton of games for his team reminds me of Colton Cowser. 153 games played, and you want me to play left? I'll learn that position. I play a little infield, whatever you guys need. He was that guy.
I like that comp. I think you know where I'm going here, because Colton Cowser has what I call middle of the field skills, primarily a left fielder, but impact skills. You want to talk about power? 24 home runs. Don't sleep on that, because only 48 players in baseball hit that many home runs. So basically 1 or 2 per team. That's real power. But now you add in the fact he's a premier defender. We're talking about outs above average of 11. That is special. Now think about all those guys who hit 24 home runs. How many of those had that kind of a defensive metric? Well, now we're only down to 8 of them. Wow. Mostly middle of the field. I'm not done yet, Greg, because I'll tell you another thing he has that's impact skill, throwing arm. He is in the 96th percentile. Yeah, 96th percentile as a left fielder with this throwing arm. Okay, now we got to combine them, folks. We're talking about power, we're talking about defensive skills, and a throwing arm. Here's the entire list, people, and they're middle of the field guys. Ellie De La Cruz, of course, she's got a cannon rocket for an arm. And yeah, Jackson Merrill, a star of this show tonight as well, is on this list. And only one more. Just 3 players with this combination of skills: power, defense, and arm. And there's Colton Cowser for you. This is a special player. I'm telling you, this guy's only going to get better. His package of skills that he has, you don't normally see in left field. He can play center, certainly. Middle of field impact player.
If you were to ask me all the awards this awards week, which one has the most suspense, I think this might be the one right here. Manager of the Year is going to be good, but man, American League Rookie of the Year, nail biter. Is it Luis Gil, Colton Cowser, Austin Wells? 3 very deserving finalists. Only one takes home the honor. Find out who that is after the break live on MLB Network.
2024年のジャッキー・ロビンソン新人王賞がついに発表され、今年の MLB の新星たちがどれほど輝いていたかを改めて実感させられました。ポール・スキーンス選手、ジャクソン・チューリオ選手、ジャクソン・メリル選手、そしてアメリカンリーグのコルトン・カウザー選手、ルイス・ヒル選手、オースティン・ウェルズ選手、彼らはすべて MLB に新しい風を吹き込み、ファンに感動と興奮を届けてくれました。ポール・スキーンス選手は、まさにピッチャーの未来を象徴する存在と言えるでしょう。スプリンクラーと呼ばれる驚異的な投球スタイルは、相手打者を翻弄し、圧倒的な防御率196という成績を残しました。彼の100マイルを超える速球と精密なコントロールは、まるで芸術のような美しさがあり、ナショナルリーグ新人王に選ばれたのも納得です。ピッツバーグ・パイレーツにとって、彼は希望の光であり、ファンがスタンドからその一頭一頭に声援を送る姿は、野球の醍醐味そのものです。スキーンス選手はインタビューで、この賞が今年の努力を締めくくる特別なものだと語り、来シーズンへの意欲を見せました。ジャクソン・チューリオ選手も、ブルワーズの未来を担うスターとして確実に頭角を現しています。20歳という若さで20ホームラン20盗塁を達成し、歴史に名を刻みました。年齢や経験の少なさを感じさせないプレーは、ファンだけでなく監督やチームメートからも絶大な信頼を得ています。若さというハンデを武器に変え、試合ごとに進化を遂げる姿は、多くのファンに勇気を与えるものでした。特に、ポストシーズンで見せた勝負強さは圧巻であり、ミルウォーキー・ブルワーズが彼の存在をどれほど重要視しているかが伝わってきます。一方で、ジャクソン・メリル選手の多彩さと勝負強さも見逃せません。ショートストップからセンターフィールドへのポジション変更を求められても、その期待に完璧に応え、サンディエゴ・パドレスにとって欠かせない存在となりました。彼の打撃力と守備力はもちろんのこと、試合終盤でのクラッチヒット、重要な場面での一打破、シーズン後半のパドレスを支える大きな要因となりました。試合の勝敗を決定づける場面での彼の冷静さとパフォーマンスは、新人とは思えない貫禄を感じさせます。アメリカンリーグでも、コルトン・カウザー選手、ルイス・ヒル選手、オースティン・ウェルズ選手の3名が、その才能を余すことなく発揮しました。コルトン・カウザー選手は24本のホームランを放ち、さらに守備でも11守備貢献度の指標という驚異的な数字を記録しました。これだけのパワーと守備力を兼ね備えた選手は数少なく、彼がボルチモア・オリオールズの未来を牽引するリーダーとなる日も遠くないでしょう。また、ルイス・ヒル選手のピッチングは、ヤンキースファンにとってまさに救世主のような存在でした。特にランナーが得点圏にいる状況でも冷静に投げ続ける姿は、若手ピッチャーの中でも際立っていました。そして、オースティン・ウェルズ選手のキャッチャーとしてのリーダーシップは、彼が単なる攻撃的な選手ではなく、守備でも確実な信頼を築いていることを証明しました。特にシーズン後半でスタントン選手が離脱した際、外尾選手やジャッジ選手の後ろでリーンアップを任されるほどの信頼を得たことは、彼の成長を物語っています。このように、今年の新人選手たちは、それぞれの個性と才能を発揮し、MLB 全体を盛り上げてくれました。彼らの活躍は、単なる数字や記録にとどまらず、ファンの心に深い感動を与えています。そして何より、彼らの努力や情熱が次世代の選手やファンにとっての希望となっているのです。さて、皆さんは 今年のジャッキー・ロビンソン新人王賞についてどう思いましたか？誰が一番印象的なシーズンを送ったと思いますか？また、来シーズンの彼らの活躍にどんな期待を寄せていますか？ぜひコメント欄で皆さんの意見や感想を教えてください。もしこの内容が気に入ったら、いいねとチャンネル登録をよろしくお願いします。最新の MLB ニュースやハイライトをお届けするので、これからも一緒に MLB の魅力を楽しみましょう。次回の動画もお楽しみに。